Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. It is I, God Empress Jessie Milestone, and the reason that this video is coming so late is because earlier today my voice, which currently sounds like this, sounded a lot worse than this. Because yes, even though I haven't, it hasn't gotten completely better yet, I was still plagued with the completely indefatigable urge to sing Bodies by Drowning Pool at karaoke last night. So I did that, and I'm suffering the consequence, but I have a nice antihistamine nasal spray now that's supposed to knock out whatever's going on back in here and make me be able to talk again. But until then, you get croaky Jessie, who will hopefully be less croaky tomorrow, because, oh yeah, I'm doing a 12-hour live stream tomorrow night, in case you haven't heard. More on that later. Now to the point of this video. This video is for one of my patrons. It's for Leroic, who wanted to know which countries I have been to and where I would like to go. He also wanted my thoughts on them. So this is basically just a review of the countries I've been to. But also, guys, where have you been? Let me know what countries have you been to, and what's your favorite memory from a trip that you've taken? I'll share a couple of mine now. So my first time leaving the country, I was 16 years old, and I went, that late, I know. I didn't do a lot of international travel as a youth, but I got to go on a teen tour to Canada, which was only a short drive from where my camp was. My summer camp was. It was 10 days riding horses up in the mountains of Quebec, and it was freaking beautiful. It was super awesome. I loved every minute. The first half of the trip, we spent on a sort of a ranch, more commercially big, like Madeline-style bunk bedrooms, all, 12 little girls all in a row and what have you. We had to cook our own meals and stuff, which was super fun. And so we got to do like shopping trips, and I made soup, and it was just a good time was had by all. There were llamas there. We got to play with them. There was a wolf dog we got to meet. And we got to do fun things like participate in a cattle drive, in which my job was to be the peacekeeper, which I still find ironic to this day. We got to try team penning, which is when you and your team of people try to put a very specific group of cows into a pen, and only those cows before another group of people have to put the same different cows. It's complicated. It's really, really freaking difficult too, especially when your horses are trail horses. So they're like, there is no horse's butt in front of me to follow. I'm not going anywhere. That was fun. And then the second half, we were up doing these just 8-hour trail rides through the mountains, galloping through the gorgeous countryside, taking home freshly tapped maple syrup, riding into town, hitching our horses to a hitching post, and then getting buffalo burgers, which I think might have been the first time I tried a buffalo burger too. Maybe not. I don't know. It was delicious though. It was a magical time in my life. So that was really fun. Just generally a wonderfully amazing trip, full of female bonding, etc. So that was cool. I did not leave the country again until my senior year of college, during which I took a 3-week vacation. It was supposed to be doing an independent study project for school, but it was a vacation. I wanted to go to New Zealand and see where the hobbits lived in Middle Earth, and that was, again, amazing. To that point in my life, I'd always considered myself a person with bad luck, who was just, Murphy's Law, anything can't go wrong will, and I went on this vacation to New Zealand, and it was charmed. It was just magical from beginning to end, including the one time where I thought everything was going wrong. I was up in Kaikoura. I drove around the whole place. I rented a car, and I drove the entire South Island, almost all of it. I missed the fjords, so I got to go back. And yes, but I drove, I got to drink wine in the Central Otago region. I went bungee jumping. I went spelunking and saw glowworms in the caves. I galloped horses at the feet of the Misty Mountains, which are actually the Humboldt Mountains in real life. It was so cool and magical. And I go up to Kaikoura, which is this little tropical paradise on the coast. And I was supposed to swim with dolphins, and I get there, and they're like, yeah, we can't go out. The sea's too rough. But try again in the morning. And I was like, shit, I'm supposed to take a ferry in the morning. But I was able to reschedule the ferry. I was able to come in and do their super early swimming with wild, dusky dolphins. It was awesome. We got in the water a bunch of different times. They play with you. They tease you. They're so cute. It was amazing. And then we get back in the boat, and we're heading back to shore. And the guy's like, wait, come back out. Bring your cameras. And there were orca. It's a little pod of orcas. I don't know. A small pod of orcas showed up, and we got to take pictures of them. And one surfaced right next to the frickin' boat. It was just a fairy tale all the way around. And perfect, too, because normally if they see orcas in the water, you don't get in the water because they eat you. So it was just perfect timing that we got to do all of our swimming, get that out of the way, beautiful pictures, and then orcas. It was amazing. So yeah, that was just pretty much magical all the way around. And then I went to, the next place I went was Israel on a birthright trip a couple years ago. And I went with my little sister, which was awesome. I made incredible friends, some of whom I still stay in touch with. And it was a great trip. For me, I'm a person, I'm born and raised Jewish, but I was born in a fairly predominantly Jewish area, so it was just sort of set, like, things that were Jewishish were just second nature to me. I was like, oh, this is Judaism, cool. And when I moved away, when I went to college where there were, like, no Jews, I got more in touch with the culture of it. And I mean, the religion, I'm not a religious person, but I celebrate the culture, get down with the holidays and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see, get in touch with that history, be a part of all of that, and just experience another incredible country, to learn what's going on there from the people on the ground, not just, because what we hear in the news, these are how the different nations and how their leaders are swaying things. And most people there, Israelis, Palestinians, they just want to get along. They're like, you're cool, dope. Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Museum there is just profoundly moving. The ancient deserts, it's just Jerusalem. It was the first time I got to go to a really old country that's just steeped in that level of history. I mean, I grew up in Philly, where that's about as ancient history as you get for the U.S., but to go to a place like Israel that just predates the U.S. by thousands of years, it was a really moving experience. Another amazing trip. It's nice that sometimes I think to just go on a hosted trip like that, where you don't have to think about anything, you don't have to plan anything, everything's just kind of done for you. That's where I learned that hummus is the most amazing food ever. So, and then I started traveling as a referee. So I went to Konin. Guess what country that's in? It's in Poland. It's a tiny little city in Poland. And I really only got to spend like half a day tooling around Old Warsaw, which was awesome as well. That's where my family's originally from, so Poland. So it was nice to feel culturally in touch with those roots, but I didn't get to do a ton of sightseeing. And then same for fencing, I got to go to Eislingen, which is not Esslingen. Esslingen is like a real place in Germany. Eislingen is a tiny place in Germany. We got to go to the Christmas markets because it was December. It was a great time to be in Germany. The Christmas markets are off the chain. The Glühwein, the hot wine, mulled wine, is so freaking good. I liked the food. I really enjoyed eating their breakfast. Like the hotel breakfast there, man, I thought some of this breakfast we got in Israel were nice. The hotel breakfast there, which just comes with the hotel. Freaking soft-boiled eggs. Their version of bacon is speck, which is a smoked prosciutto. It's crisped to deliciousness. Oh my god. And I did get to go up to Berlin with a friend and spend a few days hanging around in Berlin. Again, another incredible opportunity to just get in touch with old stuff. We went over to the Reichstag and went to the roof and walked around, and it was really interesting. It was really cool. It was just fun. It was cool. The people were really nice. It's just so fascinating to just be around humans who live in a very similar but slightly different way to you. And but yeah, Berlin, again, I totally steeped in history. The wall, Nazis, all that fascinating parts of history that we should never forget, etc. So that sums up. That is the entirety of my international travels. Those 5 countries. If I get the full gamut of international assignments for the cadet circuit this year, I will get to go to Bulgaria, which admittedly I'm not even entirely sure precisely where that is. I know it's in Europe, but I don't really know where. Eastern Europe, I think. It's definitely Eastern Europe because that's where all the little countries are. But anyway, yeah. I will be hopefully going back to Eislingen, and then I might be going to Mödling, which is in Austria, near Vienna. I'd love to see Austria in the wintertime. That sounds gorgeous. But yeah, so what do you guys have you been to those countries? Do you agree, disagree? Or what other countries should I, before I get to the places that I would like to go? Where should I go, guys? You tell me. And I'm very interested. And where do you guys want to go? Where's your number one place that you haven't been to that you'd like to go to? Mine, there's 2 places that stand out for me as my top 2 places I would go next. One is the UK, kind of in general. Ireland, especially. I really want to ride horses in Ireland. That's like a life goal. I don't know why. It just seems like a nice place to ride horses. And I'd like to see London. I'd like to see England and all that stuff. So the UK is really high up on the list, but especially Ireland. And the other place is Australia. I've loved New Zealand. I imagine Australia is has some similar charm, but also way different charm because it's just huger and more wild and a little older in that way. And so I'm really, I would love to see Australia. Turns out my man Leroic, the patron who requested this video, lives in Sydney, and he's getting married there. In case you haven't heard, I've been invited to the wedding. I'm trying very hard to go. I'm also trying to raise a bunch of money to give him a gift. That gift being a donation to Running for Premature Babies, which is a charity that raises money, hosts runs and raises money to give premature infants the best chance at survival. And he's actually participating in a marathon down there in October. Go Leroic. But yeah, so if you'd like to help me check off one of those countries on my list, there is a GoFundMe for the trip right now. And additionally, we're doing a 12-hour charity live stream tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m., going to 5 a.m. Pacific time. It's crazy, to raise money for this charity, and maybe also so that I can go and meet Leroic, who's amazing, because I will go to the ends of the earth for you guys, my fans. So that's my world. You know, other places I want to go as well. Actually, I really like to go to some parts of China. I've been advised just to go to Hong Kong, but China seems really interesting. I've heard Southeast Asia is incredible. I've heard Thailand is also super cheap as well. So those places are like that region of the world. I'd like to check that off too. Maybe Russia one day, but like not right now. I don't know. Yeah, so let me know where have you been? Where would you like to go? Where should I go? Probably the country you live, you know. I've also checked off 40 out of the 50 states in the U.S. Looking to hit at least one more of those before the end of the year. So I will go to all 50, even Oklahoma, for no reason. But yeah, so that's that. I wasn't necessarily sure I was going to record a video today, but I will, full disclosure, guys, most of this will be gone tomorrow. Not like all of it, guys. It'll grow back too, but I'm ready for a long overdue haircut. So for those of you who have been driven crazy by this, it'll be a little less crazy tomorrow. For those of you who love it more than life, please don't kill yourself. But yeah, if you guys want to suggest content that I do, my Patreon is a wonderful place for that. I'm putting up my fully uncensored rants on there now as well. I'm putting up a lot of different fun stuff that doesn't go up on with my regular content. It's another just great way to be part of the wonderful Mindless Entertainment community. So I hope you guys tune in for the live stream. I hope you guys check out my Patreon. Don't forget, like, subscribe. Please click the bell, guys. Make sure you're getting notifications. My live streams have not been giving out a lot of notifications, so make sure you do click the bell for notifications and share about the live stream. Let people know it's happening. Share the link, etc. Because I don't trust YouTube to get the word out for me. And that's all. I will see you guys starting at 5 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll get one step closer to touring more of the world together. Au revoir. That's French for good night. Poorly pronounced because fuck French. Actually, it just means goodbye, not even good night. Bonsoir means good night. Also poorly pronounced because fuck the French. Bye.